You're watching The Catalyst, music and weird news, and I'm your host, Kat. You may have noticed that this video is in black and white. That is because I went and saw The Artist last weekend and it really inspired me. At first, I have to admit, I went to see it because I thought it was one of those movies that you really have to go and see because of all the awards and nominations it's getting, and I feel confident in saying that it probably will clean shop at the Oscars. Anyway, I have to say I really enjoyed it. It's such a unique concept for a film in this day and age, obviously, not back in the 20s. And I have to say, go and see it. The actors take acting to a whole new level. The music, the storyline, the dog, all of it. Just go and see it. It is an hour and a half, however long it is, 2 hours of just sheer enjoyment. Anyway, my top 3 stories of this week are starting with Jeff the Brotherhood. They have just released a video for their first single off their new album. The single is called Bummer, and the album is called We Are Champions. The video just perfectly suits their sound. It looks homemade. It actually looks like it was made on the same camera that I'm using for these videos, my iPhone. But it suits them because their whole sound is like homemade garage rock band. It's just, I think it's really unpretentious and awesome. It's just raw, dirty rock and roll, and these guys are blowing up. They've had attention from huge names like Jay-Z, and I got to see them perform at the Echo in LA when they opened for the Greenhorns, and then I got to see them again at Bonnaroo last summer, and every time they just absolutely kick some serious butt, and they are on their road to blowing up, and I would say watch them because they're only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they deserve it because they are great. Right, next up is my post about the Growlers. That's because their latest album has been produced by Dan Auerbach of the Black Keys. The album is currently untitled. They do not have a name for it, and they also don't have a label for it. But once they do, the album should be out late spring of this year. If you haven't come across the Growlers before, they are a 5-piece band from Costa Mesa, California. The only way I can describe their sound is trippy desert rock and roll. I think that Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros might have been very inspired by them. They're a fantastic band. I heard about them about 3 years ago and just fell in love with their music, and then by coincidence they were playing around the time that I discovered them, around Valentine's Day 3 years ago. They played at Union Pool in Williamsburg, and they were awesome. So great. So they are currently on tour. Check their dates, and if you can catch a show, definitely go and see it. Next up is Girls, the band. They have got an album out called Father, Son and the Holy Ghost. It came out September of last year. So far they've released 2 singles, Vomit and Honey Bunny. They both have videos, and the videos are just so great. Vomit was filmed in a church in Brooklyn, and it's just great. And there's definitely a Pink Floyd moment with the backing singers. Great. The next video for Honey Bunny really has you singing and dancing. It got me going last week. I love them. They are based in San Francisco, and yeah, this is their second full-length album. They are currently on tour, but they're miles away. They're in Australia, and then they're in Singapore, and then Mexico, and then they are going to the west side of the country. So unfortunately, I think they just played in New York, actually. I missed it, but next time I will get to their show because I love them. My weird news story for you this week is during the Cold War years, there were underground missile sites built in the USA to house weapons to defend America. Well, one of these decommissioned sites in Davenport, Washington, might become the future home base to the National UFO Reporting Center. This organization basically documents all reports of possible UFO activity. All I can say is this is absolutely great, and if anybody from the organization is watching, hire me. I want to work for you. I believe. I really believe, and I want to know what's going on out there. Okay, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I'm sure we'll have another great week for music and stories and all sorts of interesting things, and I will see you this time next week.